Sweet. He made me some food. Ooh.
Yeah.
How's it going?
What?
How are you doing?
Okay. Come on
Okay.
in. You ready?
Yeah.
You got your camera?
Yeah. All right. I painted this with the stuff slopped on, or whatever you want to call it, the amazing red, white, and blue color. When it spilled here, I kind of filled in any little space where you could see this plain cement. And I did this, I'm gonna let it dry really thick. See how thick it is globbed on there? I'm gonna let it dry just like that. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I'm gonna let it dry and I'm gonna coat it. Once it's all the way dry, I'm gonna put a clear coat of this non-yellowing, this really amazing clear coat over the whole top of it and seal that in. Did this side too. Slopped all this stuff on the side, this beautiful art. And it created all this right here. I filled in the space. Oh, there's a little space right here somewhere. I saw it. Yeah, there. See how you can see the concrete in there? I'm gonna move it over just a little bit. There. Here's another one. There, so that it covers up the concrete. And I'm gonna let that dry. It's gonna be part of the art. And I'm just gonna paint the rest of it all around here, up to the edges.
Click like on the video and check out more of my videos.
I'm painting my floors. Don't tell anyone yet. Look at this. I can fine tune the jaw. Cover that up a little bit and paint it on the ground. I did some custom art on the side of here. This stove, I cleaned that stove up. Cleaned that stove up, I put some fingers right here. Covered it with some polyurethane. It's gonna look really beautiful. Use a good oil-based concrete paint. You can paint nearly any surface, including wood, concrete, stuff like that.
Just make sure the floor is clean and dry before you paint. And go and paint.
Here is the art. I started painting that door. I came down to here. Put that guy right there. I can probably create the rest of that guy's body from his face right there. Anyway, those footsteps, I can put little faces on them. And they're coming over here. Flanders at the bottom. Walking all over that guy's face, if you can see it, and he's got his arm kind of in the shape of a butt right here with his fist, and there's little aliens inside there as a spaceship. There's this guy right here, and there's this face that I put right here. You don't have to do this like some like really brilliant art. You can just, you don't have to do some amazing art or something. You can do like clouds or some cool pattern, and then once it's dry, you seal it in. And I'm going to show you how to do it. This is just clouds right there. I don't know what I'm going to do with that unless I'm going to keep it simple. I put that cross right in the middle. Keep it simple. And right here is going to be a sun. It's going to be yellow and white, and then the Blue Ridge Mountains right here. And I sealed this in this morning. Let me turn the light on. There's the girl. I did art in the countertops. See if you can see it. It's hard to tell, but it looks pretty cool there. See? I painted those countertops. This one I painted a long time ago. Got the fingers on there. I just kind of touched it up. There's a guy right there. There's his face with his arms up over his head, and he's like a ghostly figure, and it comes down here. Painted the cabinets. I gotta paint those pink. I have the stainless steel cleaner for the front of that refrigerator. It'll look really good. I've really done a lot more work on the house too to get ready for just the painting of the floors, which is gonna save $10,000. And I've been painting these walls. Somebody who painted it first got that white all along there. So that's just latex. And I can lightly scrape that off, lightly sand it, or just wash it off. And then that wood will be really nice again. And I painted these walls. I just have to paint that trim. All these bedrooms are good. I have to paint these walls and put a new light fixture in there and paint the cabinets under there. I painted that pink. I painted this floor pink. I have to seal it with the clear coat stuff or whatever it's called and paint the trim.
Okay, I drew this guy. He's a Hawaiian surfer. Looks kind of like one of my relatives. And he's at a cookout eating a hot dog or something like that. And he's so obsessed with surfing that he thinks that it looks like a surfboard. And I put another little face over there and stuff like that around here that you have to just find. Wow, look at that tree. Look at that cool tree. That is awesome. And this corner, I'm gonna have to do something there tomorrow.
Hey, how's it going? I've been losing weight doing this. It's pretty amazing. You'll see when you watch me paint, probably you can tell a little bit. I lost weight. I've been losing pounds of fat. It's pretty good when you work on physical labor or cleaning or painting, stuff like that. You lose weight and do more work, and it keeps people healthy, living longer. So anyway, here's where I'm going to start today. Got ready this morning. Right back there's a tree. That's the tree next to the steps. I just painted that last night. And here is where I'm going to put some clouds and blue sky next to the steps and try to blend it as far as I can into that other room. I may walk around the steps and do some there just so it's about the same color. Then, after I finish that, I'm going to turn the camera over here and I'm going to paint the Blue Ridge Mountains. The Blue Ridge Mountains, this is going to be really cool. The Blue Ridge Mountains. So I've got to mix the paint to look just right. I'm going to mix blue, a tiny bit of white, and some gray and get just the right look. And I may have to mix a tiny bit of black to get it a little darker if that blue's not dark enough, unless I have another blue around here. Let me get the blue. You have to wear gloves when you're using oil-based paint. Oil-based adheres a lot better, but you have to be really careful not to get it on anything. And that's what I do. I'm careful. I'm not gonna mess up because I do a really good job. Okay, I'm gonna get started on this. I'm gonna put those paint shoes on. They're dry, they don't have any paint on them. And I swept this floor up. I got everything ready. I got the blue paint right there. I got one more blue new one there. I've got green. I've got gray, white. There's a red over there. There's a little tiny black right there. And I have these things to mix it over here to mix the colors in because I have to create the Blue Ridge Mountains color. I have them right out the window and I can look, and I'll just show you right now. Okay, I'm gonna scrape and clean those windows. And I'll show you the Blue Ridge Mountains right outside my window. Come on, there it is. See them way out there? Let me see if I can get the color balance correct. It looks a little more green than normal. Those windows will look like brand new. I don't know why they look. Those windows will look really cool. Anyway, there's the Blue Ridge Mountains. I'm gonna walk over there. Okay, you gotta be really careful walking on this. Oh my gosh, I'm not even gonna try to walk on, I'm not even gonna walk on the moon. That'd be an unfortunate moonwalk. Okay, let's come over here. This is the Blue Ridge Mountains. You see that? Wow. Those are the Blue Ridge Mountains. See them? That's the color we're going for. It looks like I'm gonna have to get that color, looks like I'll use the blue, a little bit of gray, and some white. But they happen to be kind of cloudy today. They can be a little more blue than that, and I may have to mix a tiny bit of black. And I'll mix it all the same color because they apparently look all about the same color unless there's another mountain range getting near it, and then it has to be slightly lighter. Like there's two right, see between those trees where all the mountains are going? See? Wait. See right there? Between the two trees? The difference between the two mountains, it looks like there's a subtle hint of light blue towards the edge of it, but that's just the clouds. I'll do something like that, and then I'll put I may shade them with some black at the very edges because there's going to be a sunset over them, or on them, or near them, you know? So it's going to create a different look than just seeing them in the background. When you're seeing them with a sunset on them, it'll still be the Blue Ridge Mountains. So this is one way that the Blue Ridge Mountains can look. Mine are going to look, very, obviously the Blue Ridge Mountains, they must look all different beautiful ways, green, blue. They have all this green stuff on them. Okay, this is crazy. I was walking over here to the Blue Ridge Mountains. I was walking over here to show you the Blue Ridge Mountains out there, and something happened. I accidentally put a footprint right there and a footprint right there. Or the other one you can't really see. I'm gonna have to blend it in with some paint. And I happen to have these cool new paint brushes right here. Look at this. I've been waiting for these forever. I've had these, I haven't had little ones. So this was kind of like a meant to be thing, but not really. This was just some, I don't know if these are good or not. These may be amazing. Okay. I touched it up. You can't tell where I stood on it. That was so strange. That has been wet since yesterday morning. I've painted so much since then. And I'm gonna try to wipe my feet off so I can walk, because I have to walk over to there somehow. I somehow have to get over to there. Trying to figure out how I can do that. Anyway, I found these awesome brushes. I'm gonna put this one right, well, I'd hate to get them messed up, but they kind of create some dust. I'm gonna bring them over here. These are really cool. These are the ones I was gonna use, and thank goodness I came over here. Okay, I made it. I walked across there, didn't get any paint on anything. So I'm gonna paint that, paint this, and come over here and paint the rest of the floor, and then get out that way and walk out. Okay. Was not expecting this. Was not expecting this under the steps. Trying to do a facey as hard as I can. I mean, trying to do a selfie as hard as whatever that's called. Yeah, There's a dead rat in there. Yeah, dude. Just paint and everything. And then all of a sudden, yeah, trying to do a selfie, look really cool, Hollywood and everything, driving around in a Range Rover, butthole. Yeah, dude. Yeah, there's a dead rat in there. Oh, dude, yeah. I can't help it. That's so funny. Well, at my own self. I wish there were other people here to share that funny moment with. Yeah, driving around a Range Rover, just got a $10 coffee. Pfft, poor. Who cares? I would like a $100 coffee if I could. Playing with my leg, trying to hit my leg. Okay. Anyway, dude, this guy. This guy pulled out like dead mice and oh god. Can you imagine that in somebody's bunghole? Oh, no way. Okay. I'm gonna wipe that up a little bit better and keep painting. Okay, I'm gonna wipe it up a little bit better and keep painting. Hey, maybe I'll drive a Range Rover one day. Maybe I'll drive a Range Rover one day and wipe my butt on some clean toilet paper, cause I'm really, yeah. I can't help it. I'm sorry. Hi. Okay. I'm gonna go back to making the video. It's dust on my hand. I'm trying to hold it because I don't want to. I'm really gonna make this place nice. A little bit of dust on my hand. I don't think it was a dead mouse. It was something like that. I think I picked something up and it was like, that used to be alive or something. I found it in the inside of that thing. I took all the stuff out, leaves, stuff like that with my left hand. The hand I wipe my with. This is, in our country, we wipe with the left hand. Bare, like itself. No, and it's the only way to do it out there in the, never mind. Let's not make fun of those people, please, because, they... Asshole! I can't stop laughing at this. I'm just trying to paint that. I have to wipe it off and then I'm going to keep painting. No, I have to put this online. Okay. Hi. Yeah. Nice. No. Yankees. Okay. Just got done painting that. I have to use the bathroom so bad. I barely made it over here with these weird shoes. I have to pee right now. Oh, this shoe and the left shoe is this. They happen to be dry with no paint on them. I made it over there. Didn't get any on the steps except for a teeny tiny little bit that I can just sand off when I sand them. I've been careful with the steps the whole time. Anyway, it's no big deal. I left that part blank I left it kind of just blue in regular color, so my son can paint it, because that other bedroom in there, he's gonna stay in there. I gotta paint that trim. Anyway, he's gonna stay in there, and I'm gonna let him paint whatever he wants right in the floor right there, like a cool face. Whoa, I gotta pee really bad. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off. I'll be right back. I get a good pee. Okay, I'm back. How on earth did I do that? Look, I'm standing right here as to not stand up. How did, okay, 2 days ago I painted this sun right here up to there with the sun rays. Yesterday, early morning, I painted that gray up until, and then I discovered the moon. I just put the moon right there. I was going to put a face, and I said, okay, hey, that's perfect. Then I couldn't go too dark over into here, so I had to make use of the most white I possibly could, because the whole intention was to have this beautiful sunlight as far as it could go, and clouds up at the upper side of it, and it ended up that way. Those are the clouds. I ended up painting clouds. I had to thin the paint out with a turpentine paint thinner because it was getting too thick, that white, and long story. Anyway, I got over to there, couldn't go anymore. No, actually I got to there, I couldn't go anymore. Starting to hurt. I only got this far. Then later I looked at a video of it and I said, it doesn't look like the type of thing. I wanted this all blended in. It was stopped. That was all gray right there. It stopped and looked stupid. And so I had to come over here and blend this all in with the white and try to do as best as I could, because as I was painting, it wasn't just painting, it was filling in every little detail of the stuff and making sure to not leave one tiny little hole of the original cement, like filling it in, painting it over, and doing art as I went to do a good job of the whole thing, cover every teeny tiny pore or whatever you want to call it, the cement stuff. So I was able to get to there. Then at night I had an idea, and I was like, I'll just paint clouds the rest of the way and just do some easy thing, like whatever I did over there, that was, except, as good as I can. I don't know if I'm going to keep that, or I think I'm going to keep that. That looks good. And it's valid for artistic reasons, so I'm going to leave it. But I was going to do simple stuff over here, and I had an idea of putting trees back behind here along the side and stuff, or something, and I didn't know exactly what it was, but I was going to put a tree there, and I didn't know, I thought I was going to have I didn't know how I'd draw the leaves. I've never painted a tree that I recall. So I'm more into like portraits, like that type of thing. And I'm not even super great, at photorealistic stuff. Anyway, long story. So I got to here, and I had this idea to put a tree. But it was so hard and difficult. And I thought, how on earth am I going to paint it next to the steps, hanging on to here with all sorts of this paint all over my body, all over my arms, with the oil paint that if it gets on this beautiful wood, look at this. Look at this beautiful wood that has to be preserved. And I was going to drink a beer when I was on here. I was going to drink a beer, and I thought, no way. Can you imagine being drunk and falling on the oil paint and everything like that? So forget that. I didn't do it. Anyway, this is still, anyway, yeah. Anyway, yeah. So here's right here. Okay. Here's a yeah. Yeah. Okay. I painted under there and all around here. And somehow I didn't get paint anywhere. I didn't get it on those steps. I didn't get it on this beautiful art, that beautiful tree. I got it right around the edge. I got it perfectly. If you can see, get in focus. See that line right there? That blue line? That blue line? Perfect on the edge. And I did it as best as I could way under there without doing too crazy, because his custom art was like deep, was like way inside the steps. I don't even know if you can see it. Let's see if it's possible. See, I gotta be careful where I walk. See if you can see his art. Oh, I'm afraid to touch this. It got on my hands. Just coming over here, it got on both of my hands. I am gonna walk up these steps. I'm going upstairs. I'm done painting. I'm gonna try to save some of this. I don't know if that's possible. This can may be done. Sad. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know if I can paint those. I don't know how perfect these Blue Ridge Mountains are gonna be, because I don't have any. I don't know if I have any white left. Let's mix the white. Let's mix the white. Oh, this is not gonna kill me. What do I mix with the blue to make it like blue enough for the Blue Ridge Mountains? The gray? We're not gonna. Okay, this is all I can do without, this is about all I can do. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. I've got to get these Blue Ridge Mountains just right. It's here. The house is here with the Blue Ridge Mountains. I've got to get them just right. I was going to just take a break, and I don't know if I can. It's all in shot so you see the truth about it. I have to get it right. Okay. I gotta make, see if I go upstairs and take a break, then I won't have any more white left. So I've got to mix that. I've got to mix the colors for the Blue Ridge Mountains. I'm going to put gloves on so it doesn't get all over my hands. I'm going to put these same gloves that happen to be here. I've got to get these colors right. Oh, the glove ripped. This is some serious, this is all unedited right now. I've got to get the Blue Ridge Mountains right, and I don't know how I will do this all and have it in time for when Al gets back. And, you know, I don't want him to fall going up the steep steps of the guest house unless I explain to him, hey, you got to walk around the whole house if you want to use the bathroom for somebody his age. So he's coming back, but put these gloves on, they'll do. Let's see how we're gonna do this. Take the blue. We're gonna make the perfect Blue Ridge Mountain color. This is the right one. Okay. This is blue. We might even paint it. Take the paint thing out. Oh man. They're gonna comment on my shorts, maybe. No, who cares? I love these shorts. They're cool. Makes me feel cool. Some rock star actually started wearing the exact same shorts when I had the smaller ones. Same brand and everything. He made his own brand. He made his own brand and put his own label on it. This rock star, blue shorts with the white around the edge. little shorts, exact same. He saw me wearing them. I was like somehow friends with the people that they knew or whatever, and he thought they're so cool. He got them himself, and Rock starts wearing them. He's like in a punk band that's not as big, but it's pretty big. And I put the blue in there. I've got to be very careful around those steps not to spill any paint. I have to cover this up. And actually, I have to. Here's what you have to do. You do this. Wipe that on the ground. That'll be the lower part of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Doesn't matter. You have to wipe this blue off the edge. I'm going to put this on thin so I can cover, so it's not going to blend in too much with the, then I can mix that with green or something later. You got to just get the color of the actual Blue Ridge Mountains. See, when you're painting this, you have to like make sure it goes in the pores, but I put it on thicker. Usually I'm trying to thin it out. These brushes are really good. The small brushes I haven't used yet. Except for this one. That's not small. Okay. Okay. I don't need this beer. I was gonna drink it, and I thought I was next to all that stuff. I didn't want to fall over. It's too much to drink beer and do this stuff with the paint. I didn't want to get on the edges of that. And so I got the blue in there. Now, what other colors? Gray. So much gray. Careful around gray. I created a brown the other day. Did some research. I realized that you can add green, yellow, and red, and it makes brown. I have to get just the right amount to do the brown for the tree. That tree. I'll show you. Whoa. What's on the tripod? See that tree? That is awesome. I created that brown by mixing paint. I created the green by mixing paint. Yellow and blue. I made the green. And yellow, blue, and red made the brown for the tree. It came out perfect. So okay, back to this. Definitely not, I'm almost done with the whole thing. This will be the last place that I have to do. Besides that corner and those benches over there, I'm going to paint those benches in that corner. That'll be something else. Oh! I don't want to fall down the steps over it about the whole thing. Okay. This is good. Whoops. I'm trying to throw a buck. There's something weird. Or, I don't know. Okay. I mixed some of that. Let's get a paint stirrer. There's a paint stirrer. That's actually a kind of cool thing if it spills over the edge. You never thought about it, but I didn't usually do that. I like to keep it steady on the ground. We're creating the Blue Ridge Mountain color. The Blue Ridge Mountains color. I'm not creating it, you know. It's God created it. But let's see if I can get as much of this white as possible, pretty much. I don't know if that did anything. What other colors? Black. A little bit of black. It needs to be a little darker. Then if I'm adding white, then I guess I wouldn't need the white. Gotta get it just right, because this house is located like in right where you see the Blue Ridge Mountains right out the window. Black. Let's do this. I don't want it to cause a chemical reaction. Some paints I mixed caused a chemical reaction. It was crazy. Look at this. Look at this. Looks like a witch's boiling pot, or not a witch's, because I don't believe in that. But look at this. Look at that. Look at this. This bubbled over and poured over the edges. And it looks so cool. I'm going to keep it and do something with it. Another one bubbled over too when I was mixing the green. This was just one I mixed that didn't bubble. Oh, this one bubbled over. Here it is. Oh, gosh. Here, bubbled over the whole, bubbled around the whole. Well, you know, it was weird. It got big and blip, blip, blip. Really strange. Both oil-based paints, different brands. The other one didn't. So, what else do I mix? I gotta get this away from the steps. Can't get it in the steps. That black. Hopefully it doesn't boil over. We will see if it boils over or not. Get it away from those steps. And get away. Don't step in it. I can't step in it because I can't track it all over the stuff I already did again. It's really gets intense when you're doing all this stuff. You got to do what you know. Dude, wait. No, that sounded terrible. Dude, fire. No, it's not fire, but a toot from a train, right? I'm mixing the black in. Make them a little darker blue. Oh, this is looking good. Because it was too bright blue. It was too bright blue. This is looking good. Hey, this looks good. This looks not too good because you don't want to act like you're, hey, it's so nice there, last person. Okay, that's getting there. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna add a little bit more shadow under. Hey, Shadow. My cat's name is Shadow. I'm black, but not that much. He's a good cat. Red, black, just like Shadow. That looks just about right. Is there gray? So yes. Here's the gray. Oops. Let's add some gray. I have an idea of what it looks like in my mind. I know what the Blue Ridge Mountains look like. I'm going to get it perfect. As far as they look like from a distance. A little more gray. Whoa, that's it. That's it. I have a lot of this blue now. A lot more than I had planned on. That looks really good. That's the perfect Blue Ridge Mountain color. Blue. Blue from a distance. Look at it. Look at these. No, don't do that. No. Please don't. Please don't. Okay. Blue. The Blue Ridge Mountains. This is the blue color. I got it. I was so exhausted. I didn't know if I could keep doing this, and I was afraid with the paint around everything to do. Oh, no. Thank goodness. Can you believe that someone would... Oh. Yeah. Okay. Well, I got the paint. I'm wiping it off the paintbrush by painting stuff. I can paint it later, but it has to go in every little place where you can see the cement, so it's not like you just glazed over it, like, so it doesn't look like, whoops, so it doesn't look like you did this. See that? Leaves all these spaces in between. It looks terrible. You have to go back in and make sure every little pore space or every little space is covered. And it's better if you put it on thick, but I'm just thinning out getting the paint off the brush so I can mix it into the new paint. It doesn't... Let's see if it's still recording. I know it's still recording. Let's paint it. Floors are still wet. Oh, gosh. Left this blank for my son to paint. I kind of left a little skeleton, like a childlike, simple skeleton that he used to have on his door when he was 8 or 9 or 10 years old. I'm going to take a picture of it while I'm filming. Okay, this is the last day of working on the floors. I have to seal this in. Check it out. There's so much art on here. I sealed all the floors up to here. And there's this stuff over here. There's this guy looking over there. or a woman. It could be Noni or my grandmother or John Lennon. No hell below us, above us only sky. That was the motivation behind this. There's technically a hell below people over here. And he says that. So, you know, not literally. There's all the art in there that you've seen already. Everything's all done. I have some paint brushes over there. I may use them on the stove. I think I'm gonna sand off all the paint in the front of it so that it all looks like silver stainless steel. And just leave the paint in the sides and the clean front of the stove. That's no big deal. And then paint the trim, put a couple pieces of trim. I have the piece of drywall that goes on there that I took off so I could paint up to the edge. And a piece of trim along this wall. Stuff like that. I gotta paint that little trim over there. But the floors are done. And other than putting a coat of gloss on this last gray part over here and a little bit into the Blue Ridge Mountains. So here goes. I'm going to do it and I'll show it to you when it's done. But the floors are, you know, pretty much done. And here's the rest of them that you can see. They look really beautiful. I can take that stuff off the edge right here and it'll look really cool down there and up here. So, okay. Besides, you know, I got to fix the floor a little bit in that corner and still do some work and, you know, constantly there's stuff I can do. Like I got to scrape and clean all those windows so they look really nice and new and white, those windows. Okay. Okay. I had to walk over there. I'll show you where. Over here, where some of the paint was still slightly wet if you stepped on it too hard. So I had to walk on it with bare feet, somehow try to use one of these brushes that was in my pocket and paint that corner on the edges, which was proving wrong because it was almost going to take the paint off after I lifted up my feet. So to walk back up, so I had to walk back over to there carefully, not stepping on that wood trim because I'm going to refinish that wood door transition piece, whatever that's called. And anyway, I had that can of clear coat, so I had to step back onto the gray parts where there wasn't as much thick paint drying, almost all the way dry. You know, it's good to leave it not dryable to finally walk on because then this clear coat has something to adhere to. It has something to stick to better if it's not totally dry. But when it's totally dry, it'll work anyway. But it's a little bit better if you can put the clear coat on. The oil paint is not dry to totally start walking all over. When it's dry but not 100% dry, then you can put the clear coat on. It really sticks well, but it'll stick well anyway if you put it over on it. So I had to then walk back over on this gray part very carefully, just to barely be able to keep kind of pressing lightly as I lifted up my foot to go back there when I was done, so that it left the paint on the ground and didn't stick to my foot, my bare feet. And then I had to lean all the way with this thing, and I'm still not done. I'm almost done. I'm gonna finish it while I'm making the video. I had to get up to all the edges on here because the trim is taken off where I'm putting the trim on after this. And I didn't need a roller, and then push into that corner to create just enough of this stuff when I push down on it like that. See how it creates all that moisture? I did it just enough to do into that corner where there's that gray strip along the wall. So it went into that corner. I had to do it all along there and get it just right so it covered that gray strip and the ground. Or else if I stood over there, it could, you know, start slopping paint everywhere and ruin the design. So I had to stand right there, and somehow I was able to do it, and I did it up to that corner. I took that piece of drywall off so I could get closer to that edge. It was kind of loosely attached. I'm just gonna screw it back in. And anyway, I I got to there, painted that as much as I could, then it was getting iffy with standing on the paint that was somewhat not 100% dry. So I had to stand over there, and I didn't want to ruin the whole thing. So I found these shoes in there that were totally dry. Oh my God, so lucky that I didn't ruin this art, because this is all dry. I put the clear coat on all this, and it looks really beautiful. Looks really beautiful. It's hard to tell with that yellow light in there, and it's daylight balance, the cinematography. Okay, so anyway, I got to there, I put on the shoes. Well, after I finished this, then I painted this up to the edge as much as I could, standing from in there without messing up the paint, like standing in between those paint cans and supplies. And I painted all this. I left this blank so I could walk from there to here with the dry shoes. And I was able to walk over to here and I poured a bunch of this stuff there and put the seal type thing on the sealer in there, that little blue can, that blue and white can, poured a big drop of it over here, a puddle of it. Then once I finally made my way over here without ruining the floor, I could go over here and get it on the roller and then bring it back over here. And then I'm covering the very end of this blue. Right now, I'm going to finish painting it as we speak. I got this far. I already did around those tree posts with a brush. So I'm covering it. This is how you have to do it. Kind of get it in those little spaces, those porous spaces, and not press too hard, because you don't want to leave like a bunch of foam in one place, because then it'll harden thick. So I'm putting it on. Fortunately, it's covering the Blue Ridge Mountains really well. I'm going to seal those in. Covering all this. This is great. I'm doing it in a way as to not leave a funny pattern or design in case it dries too thick when I put it on in some places. So I'm putting this on. Putting this on here. I already got right up to this edge as perfectly as I could. Doing this. I already covered the sun. I may coat a light coat. Yeah, I'm going to coat a light coat over the sun so that stays good for a long time. And that looks like it's about it. I'm carefully walking on this. Hopefully it doesn't ruin the design, the beautiful art that I created over here. This art. And that's it, pretty much, I believe. Yeah. I might cover some of this white so it stays clean. Looks pretty good. All the rest is dry. I don't want to put it on too thick because I want to make sure it stays clear. This is a non-yellowing clear coat. Okay. Looks good. Now I've got to carefully walk onto these steps with supposedly very dry feet without messing up the steps, and I didn't. Okay. Okay. Getting the last bit of this, just in case I can cover some of that pretty well. There's a piece of dust over there. Got it. It fell on the ground. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna throw it off onto that stuff that's on the steps. Okay. Oh, there's another piece of it. Looks like a spider, but it's just some dust. Okay. This is gonna be beautiful. I'll peel that tape off the edge. It'll be a really perfect edge. That's flawed, of course, and nice. Not too clean, like the horrible stuff stuff can be if you save it. Anyway, that's about as perfect as I can get it. That's it. The whole floors are done. All the floors are done. I've got this awesome tree right here. Maybe a new type of tree. And can you find the hidden horse? There's the sun, there's the moon, there's the sun. Can you find the huge hidden horse? There's a tree. Can you find the huge hidden horse with a long mane on its head and coming down? Okay, that's it. I'm gonna turn this off. The floors are all done. They just have to dry. It's amazing. Okay. Yay. Okay, bye. These are all the shoes I used to paint the floors with that oil paint that got on, my clothes and my shoes. I used all these shoes. I even used those snowboard boots if I had it on my bare feet, and I used my bare feet. Look at this. I still have the paint on my feet. And these floors I painted almost 3 years ago using the same technique I did here. Oil-based paint, let it dry. First clean it, then put oil-based paint, let it dry. Then before it's like 100% dry to walk on all the time, when it's still somewhat adherable to a new surface, or you can wait till it totally dries, then put on the clear coat of gloss, which is generally polyurethane that doesn't yellow. And this lasted amazingly well. This is just what the paint looks like over here, and you can see that's a cement floor, and this is a wood floor. And it's just lasted really well. Hey, cat. Hi, Sunshine. See, right here, his receipts or something are over there. And it's almost 3-year-old paint, has nothing wrong with it, no chips, nothing at all wrong with it. Pretty much. It's gotten I can clean it. I haven't mopped it at all in this whole time that I recall, unless I had just put the floor down and did it like a couple of years, more than 2 years ago. So pretty amazing, and it's lasted this whole time. Okay, let it dry a little on its own, a few hours, and then put a dehumidifier if you have one. You don't need a dehumidifier. It just speeds up the drying process if you're trying to get to walk on it faster, if you happen to have one in the house. So that's the dehumidifier, and all the floors are done. They're all done. I was so happy with the floors that I did a selfie photo shoot. The one that I was making fun of in the cursing part of the video. I just felt happy because I lost 7 pounds of fat working on the floor so much. Okay, bye.